Please be seated. This reading is from chapter 6, verses 22 to 27. The priestly blessing. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Thank you so much, Elise, and good morning. Oh, is anyone here? That's a really bad, let's put a bit, good morning. Oh, lovely. Oh, very nice. We're going to talk today this morning about God's gaze. God looking at you, at us this morning. So I wonder what comes to mind when you think about God looking at you. What comes to mind when you think about God looking at you? Studies have shown that eye contact with another person brings about emotional arousal. I've just said the word arousal in church. So sustained eye contact makes people feel more socially connected. And actually, we're not very good at it. I watched this program recently. I'll admit it's Married at First Sight. But what happens is they get couples to sit and look at each other for 4 minutes, and they can't break eye contact. The idea is it brings them closer together. And so they sit and they look in their eyes, in another person's eyes, their partner's eyes, for 4 minutes. Guys, we're going to be doing this morning. So, except we're not doing it for 4 minutes, we're going to do it for 20 seconds. I hope you're sitting next to somebody you like, because I can do it with you, but because what we're going to do is I want you to pair up with somebody, and I'm going to put my timer on my phone, and we're going to stare into each other's eyes for, I know it's awkward, right? But we're going to do it. We're going to do it, okay? Hang on. Okay, hang on. Okay, wait. Okay, the stopwatch is starting in about 5 seconds. Have you all got somebody to look at? If you haven't, just turn around and find someone to look at. We're just doing this for 20 seconds, okay? We can do this. Are you ready? Go!
Worship sounds shit. It does. Huh?
Okay. How was that? Oh, it's quite intense, isn't it? Guys, you did 20 seconds, you know? Just 20 seconds. So, top tip, if anyone wants to connect a bit better with their partner, that's the exercise to do. So when babies develop, way before they can speak or understand what's being said, they learn through social contact, through laughing, through smiling, through eye contact. And all of that is as important to a baby's development as warmth and food. So babies need far more than warmth and food to stay alive. Now, if you're a baby and you can't speak yet, but you want to connect with the other person, you might wriggle around and flap your arms and kick your legs, and you'll often give people a massive smile, and then they smile back, and it just feeds this lovely sense of connection. So I'm going to just show you a couple of videos to show you what I mean. I love YouTube. Let's do it. Thank you.
I think you're scared. I think you're scared.
Thank you. The next one.
Monaco. Oh my god.
I thought they were cute. So research has shown that eye contact is really important with those that you love, and it keeps all of those positive feelings going and gives us joy. So eye-to-eye contact is basically like emotional caffeine, okay? It gives us energy. And guys, we can do this with God as well. So when Israel was a baby nation and learning the ways of God, God told the high priest to bless the people with this blessing that Elise has read. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Now, God's face is mentioned twice in this blessing, and that's a really big deal because elsewhere in the Old Testament, it says, God told Moses that you can't see my face, no one can see me and live. And because of this one sentence in Exodus 33, they have in many places translated God's face in Hebrew as God's presence. So they've swapped out God's face and translated it God's presence. But to be in God's presence is to be in God's face. And I know that there are some negative connotations these days for being in people's faces, but this isn't about confrontation. This is about presence. So what do you think about when I say God is looking at you? What comes to mind? If I say that God is looking at you, what comes to mind? The Gospels give us a glimpse of what God's gaze looks like. In Mark's Gospel, a man comes to see Jesus with some questions, and before Jesus says anything, the text just says, Jesus looked at him and loved him. And that is what God's gaze looks like. God's eyes are not like a security camera watching to catch your mistakes. They're not full of disapproval or disdain. They're not aloof or cold. I bought this as a stocking present for Ruben, actually. He doesn't find it funny. I find it hilarious. But we put it over the door. Can anyone see it? It says, I saw that. And it goes like that. There we go. It's a nice bit of Jesus tat. I do like that. So I think sometimes what happens is that when we imagine God's face towards us, we assume it must be a frown or a disapproval or a sense of you really should do better. But actually, God's eyes are like a loving parent's eyes. They are attentive and protective and delighting in you. They're so proud of you. When God looks at you, he's not thinking, what's wrong with you? He's thinking, I'm so glad you're here. And so we need to rewire our understanding of God so that when we think about God, we think of him cheering us on and smiling at us, because actually without this basic understanding that God loves us right in here, it's really hard to grow in our trust in God. Has anyone been to a school play recently? Yeah, a few of them. We have a lot here. We have a class performances here at St. Paul's, and the first thing that happens when all the kids are on the stage is that their face is looking a bit they look a bit stressed, and then they scan the crowd to see if they can find their mum, their dad, their granny, their carer. And the moment they find their parents' face in the crowd, their face lights up, and they start waving at them. And then the parents are usually videoing it. So it's this wonderful moment of, and God is like that parent who you scan the crowd for and who loves you and who smiles at you. So let's come back to this blessing from Numbers. It says twice in this that God looks at you, he turns his face towards you, and his face shines on you. His glory reflects onto your face, and his gaze gives us peace. This, folks, is a 3,000-year-old blessing, and blessings are not the same as prayers. Blessings invoke something, so they impart something to people. This is something spoken by God over us, over you. It's about God's divine approval, God's pleasure. And it's not the same as saying, oh, best wishes and kind regards and have a good day. It's none of those sorts of things that we put on the ends of our emails. God's blessing is an impartation, it's an invocation. So it's a real privilege for us to receive God's blessing, and it's not something actually that we should take lightly. And if you look at Numbers chapter 1 to 5, which all lead up to this blessing in chapter 6, it covers all that's involved for these people who are part of God's chosen people. Everything that people had to do to honor God. It talks about money and relationships and morality and a whole ton of other stuff. And so when God blesses us, it's in the context of these chapters. It's not wishy-washy. It's not like saying, have a great day. It's nothing like that. His blessing is for people who are in relationship with him. His blessing is upon those who call themselves Christians, who identify as God's people and try and live that out. And this blessing, this impartation, is not something to take lightly. It comes with a way of life ordained by God as part of a covenant relationship with him. And so when I talk this morning about the gaze of God, the loving gaze of God, I'm talking about the gaze of God on you. Not as random people, but as his chosen people, living as God's chosen people. People who are no longer lost, but who are found. People who have been forgiven and now find themselves known and saved by a God who knows their name. So guys, let's never take this blessing for granted. That the eyes of God, that God's face is turned towards you, turned towards his people. You know, when kids are looking for their parents in the crowd, they're scanning for a face that they know and for a face that knows them, that has history. And the blessing of God happens in the context of this relationship. So I want to give you some homework for this week. What I'd love you to do is take 5 minutes every day and imagine, with your eyes shut, imagine God gazing at you with love. And just sit with that image and allow the gaze of God to give you peace. That's remembering that eye-to-eye contact regulates us, that something in those 5 minutes will impart and be deposited in us as God gazes on us with love. And I have tried this. I never asked you to do anything I haven't tried. And it was really intense. And it really revealed to me that sometimes I have a hard time accepting the unconditional love of God. So I'd love you to do this exercise and tell me how you find it. Bask in God's loving gaze and notice his gaze. What do his eyes look like? Because God's eyes are looking at you with love, not with a frown, not with disapproval, not with should do better. We've got to understand and get to grips with this loving gaze of God. So we're going to pray together, but can I invite you to stand? And if the band would like to come up. And I just encourage you to shut your eyes. No one is looking. And just have a moment of silence and just bring to mind, imagine what it looks like at this moment for God to be looking at you with love. Imagine what it looks like for God to be looking at you right now with love. He knows your name. He knows everything about you. He loves you. I just encourage you to bask in God's gaze and feel the smile, his smile, the warmth of his smile on your face, and notice his eyes. As we remain just in this posture of prayer, we're just going to receive these words. And as I say them, just imagine something coming into you, that God is imparting his blessing to you because you are his people. So the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face shine on you, turn his face towards you and give you his peace. We're going to remain standing to sing together.